Pretty sure I threw them all in.
You better not have.
Not to ever be tempted.
No.
Good morning, everyone. Please rise for the pledge.
The assassination.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, first thing on the agenda is motion to recess the commissioners meeting to hold a retirement board meeting. Motion.
Second.
Motion is second. Questions? All in favor? Aye. Okay, retirement board meeting to order.
Motion?
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor? Aye. Motion to approve the March 19th, 2025 agenda. I'll make the motion. Christie, you have that.
Correct.
Second. Second. And the motion is second. Any questions? All in favor? Aye. Motion to approve the February 19th, 2025 minutes.
Motion?
Second.
Motion is second. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Under new business, motion to approve the refunds of contributions to employees no longer with the county. There are 4 names listed.
Motion?
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to approve the following retirements, and there are 2 names listed.
Motion?
Motion is second. All in favor? Motion to approve the Employees Retirement Fund 2024 financial report for submission to Corn Ferry.
Motion?
Motion is second. Any questions? All in favor? Aye. Motion to adjourn the retirement board meeting.
Motion?
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor? Aye. Motion to reconvene the commissioners meeting.
Motion?
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor? Aye. Okay, next item we have is public comments or questions concerning today's agenda. Right, Kevin? Something on the agenda?
It's the Pike County Work Fair. I think it's our 7th one. I just have a public comment. Unless you want me to leave it until after the presentation, either way.
How about Kevin after into the public comment section at the end?
No problem.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Foley.
Okay. Anyone else? Okay, move on. Motion to approve the March 19th, 2025 agenda.
Motion?
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to approve the March 5th, 2025 meeting minutes.
Motion?
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor? Aye. Motion to approve the March 12th, 2025 conference minutes.
Motion?
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor? Aye. Motion to approve payment from the general fund in the amount of $1,833,501.24.
Second.
Motion is second. Questions? All in favor? Aye. Motion to approve the payment from Act 13 Transportation in the amount of $7,405.
Motion?
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to approve payment from the Pike County Employees Health Insurance Fund in the amount of $520,304.96.
Motion?
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor? Aye. Motion to acknowledge receipt of a letter from Samantha Venditti, Court Administrator, advising the dissolution of the temporary part-time law clerk position in the Court Administration effective March 14, 2025.
Motion?
Second.
Motion is second. Questions? All in favor? Motion to hire Wayne Vandermark as a part-time driver in the Transportation Department for less than 1,000 hours per year, retroactive to March 17, 2025.
Motion?
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to recess the Commissioners meeting to hold a salary board meeting.
Motion?
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor? Aye. Motion to convene the salary board.
Motion?
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to approve the March 5th and 12th, 2025 salary board minutes.
Motion?
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to set the hourly rate of Wayne Vandermark at $15 per hour as a part-time driver in the Transportation Department for less than 1,000 hours per year, retroactive to March 17th, 2025.
Motion?
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor? Aye. Motion to adjourn the salary board.
Motion?
Motion
Second.
is second. All in favor? Aye. Motion to reconvene the Commissioners meeting.
Motion?
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to advertise the triannual groceries and frozen food bids for the period of July 1st, 2025 to October 31st, 2025 on behalf of the correctional facility.
Motion?
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor? Motion to adopt resolution number 2506, colon cancer awareness month, March 2025.
Motion?
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor? Aye. Could you read that?
Sure. Resolution number 25-06, colon cancer awareness month, March 2025. Whereas colon and rectal cancers are one of the most frequently diagnosed cancers in Pennsylvania, and whereas incidence and mortality rates in some areas are 14% and 17% higher than the U.S. average, respectively. Whereas about 75% of new cases of colon and rectal cancer occur in patients of average at risk. And whereas approximately 516 new cases are diagnosed and nearly 200 patients die from colon cancer each year in the counties of Lackawanna, Luzerne, Monroe, Pike, Susquehanna, Wayne, and Wyoming combined. And whereas the Northeast Regional Cancer Institute has been easing the burden of cancer in northeastern Pennsylvania for over 30 years through community and patient services, hospital and patient support services, and cancer surveillance programs specifically designated to meet the unique needs of our region. Whereas Thursday, March 27, 2025, the Northeast Regional Cancer Institute will sponsor the 22nd annual Casual Colon Cancer Awareness Saves Unlimited Adult Lives Day to increase colon cancer awareness throughout northeastern Pennsylvania. Whereas Casual Day has established by the family of Helen Phillips, who fought a courageous battle against colon cancer and died in the summer of 2002. Now therefore, we, the Board of Commissioners of Pike County, do hereby urge residents of Pike County and all northeastern Pennsylvania to be screened for early detection of colon cancer, participate and support the Northeast Regional Cancer Institute in its colon cancer awareness effort, and designate the month of March as Colon Cancer Awareness Month, March 27, 2025, as Casual Day in Pike County.
Thank you, Ron. So, here we go. So on the screen, we have Barbara Sarah from the Northeastern Regional Cancer Institute. Hi, Barbara.
Yes, good morning. Actually, my name is Karen Saunders, set up by Barbara Sarah, and we're a small team, we're the little engine that could. Thank you very much for supporting this annual event. You said, and while colon cancer rates remain high, Northeast Pennsylvania rates have dropped significantly since the inception of Casual Day 22 years ago. So this is an event, participants dress casual, wearing a shirt like the one I have on, sell socks and hats as well. And it allows us to bring awareness to the need of early detection and screening. So support of this day makes a huge impact. Our organization has been able to facilitate 2,800 cancer screenings through our cancer screening navigation program, primarily to low-income, and underinsured in the regions that you mentioned. So thank you very, very much for your support. It means a lot. It's an honor for me to participate in your meeting today. Thank you.
Well, thank you. We know how important it is to that people be tested for this type of cancer and all cancers, because many of these cancers in this day and age, as I know from being detected early on, you can survive through them, as scary as they are. As I've told many people, the scariest words in the English language are, "You have cancer." When you hear that, your life comes to a stop. So I appreciate all that you do to make sure that the awareness is out there for this type of cancer, for colorectal, but there's many other cancers too that we live with every day, and a lot of times if you get early detected, you will survive through it. So thanks for what you do.
Thank you very much. I want to offer our organization a resource to you and to all of your constituents. We do have a website, there's information there, but we do take information referral calls from the general public. We have an oncology nurse on staff, and we have an oncology social worker on staff, and they field the majority of those calls. So some questions all year long. We have a screening monitor for all of the evidence-based screenings, but particularly in this month of March. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. We'll move on to motion to approve the following human service payment vouchers on behalf of the Office of Human Services, Emergency Rental Assistance Program 2.0 in the amount of $7,932.64, and FAIR in the amount of $6,403.26.
Motion.
Motion and second. Any questions? All in favor? Aye. Motion to execute the purchase of service agreements between Taylor and Taylor Group Home and the County of Pike on behalf of Children and Youth Services. Motion. Motion and second. All in favor? Aye. Motion to authorize the chairman to execute the February 2025 Share Housing Fair Grant in the amount of $2,833 on behalf of the Area Agency on Aging. Motion.
Second.
Motion and second. Any questions? All in favor? Aye. Motion to approve the transfer of $21,870 from the Act 13 transportation account to the Act 89 account.
Motion.
Motion and second. Questions? All in favor? Aye. Number 7, motion to execute the State Homeland Security Grant Program Agreement for federal fiscal year 2024 on behalf of the public safety.
Motion.
Motion and second. All in favor? Aye. Then we move on to miscellaneous, and we always do. We have the Penn State calendar of events, but we also have the Penn State. Jennifer is here, along with, I believe, the Master Gardener, right?
Yes.
Got it right. Okay.
Must be.
Thanks, sure. Yeah, come on up.
Good morning, Commissioners, staff, and residents of Pike County. I am here to give an update. I wanted to say thank you for meeting with me last month with Laura and I. We had pitched that we're looking to grow our food, families, and communities programming in this area eventually. We currently do not have an educator, so I'm looking to get webinars and things like that out there to gauge the interest. So I just wanted to give you that update. If you see the newsletter that I created, at the bottom, so far I've contacted Hemlock Farms, Area Agency on Aging, CASA, Children and Youth, Human Services, the Veterans Office, and Drug and Alcohol Commission. And it's been widely well received that they are interested in getting more information from us. So I have sent out flyers and emails, and hopefully by the time I give another update, we'll have some small amount of programming started. 4-H, it is 4-H Proclamation Week. However, as you all know, Angie does something extremely well received in Pike County. She does more of like our emergency services programming, and EMS Week is in May, so she has asked if she could present something in May too. Yeah. So my manager allowed that because I wasn't sure, and away we went. So she'll be here in May to tell you all about her program. And then I did bring Sue today. I have another piece of the slide deck that I sent to you. It says horticulture at the top. Sue's going to go over that with you in a minute, but some of the Master Gardener programs we have coming up, we do have a free webinar, an introduction to native plant landscaping. That's on March 20th at 1 p.m. Spring Garden Series is via Zoom, Mondays and Tuesdays starting March 24th to April 1st. There is a $10 registration fee, and you do have to register by March 23rd. And then we added a program that's actually in person in Monroe County, but Sue handles that as well. It's called Renaturing Your Yard. And I did make sure today that this was on there. Pike County residents, of course, are welcome to that. So there's a $10 registration fee just for your residents. That's on March 29th from 12:30 to 1:30. I always like to put the pitch out there. 4-H volunteers are always needed to lead youth groups. So if you can contact Angie Smith, her email is there if anybody calls looking for her, or you can contact our Penn State Extension office here in Pike County if you're interested in being an adult volunteer for 4-H. And then I will give the floor to Sue, who I could not do justice to the grant she received and what she's done with it. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. The Master Gardeners received a grant from the DEP for environmental justice. So I chose to ask Pike, Pocono Environmental Education Center, to be part of a partner in this, because I would like to take the Master Gardener program and expand it to all of the county of Pike. Especially the southern county, because there's like that. Some of my Master Gardeners in Monroe actually live in Pike County, but their lives are here, their jobs are here to Monroe. So I thought having Pike as a partner would help us move some of our program around our south of here. We're going to redo the canoe garden. If you ever been to Pike, right behind the building, they have this. And at one time it was a pollinator garden. This is a little bit different. We're going to create a pollinator garden with native plants that are all sensory. Because at Pike they have camps for children of different abilities. So we wanted to create a garden where kids can go in, touch something, smell something, a sensory garden. So that's what we're doing. It starts on Saturday The public is welcome to come. The first thing we're gonna do, if you see on the paper, we're gonna get rid of all this except the one pawpaw tree, the bigger tree. And we're gonna solarize, lay down plastic to kill the weeds. And hopefully within the next 4 or 5 weeks, the weeds will be, it'll just kill off the weeds. And then we're gonna amend the soil test, and then put on, or start to install plants. And this has all been paid for by DEP grants. The only other thing I'd like to share with you is that Nancy Osterberg and I are working, Matt's sister-in-law, are working on a walking tour of Milford Borough for trees. So we're gonna sit down and work with the tree commissioner and create a flyer. Hopefully that can be put in a public paid place that people visiting the borough can pick it up and they can walk around and see the unbelievable variety of trees in this area.
Thank you. Just to be clear, my sister-in-law is volunteering.
Yeah.
Yes, I just want to be clear here when we.
No, she's a master.
I know she is. She's
Yeah.
Extremely talented at all of this.
She is.
Okay, next we go
Tell her
to
thank you for her services.
Working Pike.
Good morning, everyone.
Hello, Cindy.
So I'm just here to give a brief update on our April 1st Working Pike Job Fair. As of today, we have 62 employers registered. Our goal is 70. We're hoping to reach that goal. 70 is our max that we've ever had, so we would always like to at least get there. It's April 1st at the Best Western in Madam Morris from 10 to 2. We'll have a resume service there for people that don't have a resume ahead of time. They can come and have a resume made. We're going to bring back our clothes closet with professional work clothes, so anybody that shows up or gets a job and needs professional clothes, we'll have that available. And I think that's about it. Oh, and the reverse job fair. I always remember about the reverse job fair. We'll have 5 adult individuals with disabilities that'll be setting up tables and presenting their abilities to employers. The employers will come in, they'll get their table set up, they'll go get a coffee and a breakfast, and then they'll come around and talk with those individuals. It's a wonderful event. We've had a lot of success from it. We work with community vocational services to put that on. Any questions?
Any questions?
I was going to talk about an aspect of the World Fair
Okay.
with public comments. Do I do it now or you want me to do it later?
Did you have any questions?
I have
Questions for Cindy?
I have a public comment.
Okay.
All right, we'll get to that. Yeah, we'll get to that later.
Before the event, next week we'll be having how to prepare for the job fair workshops. That information will be on the Pennsylvania Career Link website for those dates. And we are also accepting applications from our Summer Youth Employment and Training Program, employers and job seekers, or employees and job seekers. That's it. Thank you.
Cindy. Okay. Did you have something we would like to present? I don't know your name or. Yeah,
Oh, yeah, yes,
Yes.
yes. My turn? Okay.
your turn. What is your name?
My name is Kay Brandy. And I'm trying to increase awareness for Nar-Anon, which is, for Nar-Anon family groups, which is a 12-step fellowship that offers a recovery program for those who are affected by someone's addiction. So many people out there are suffering because they have a loved one that is addicted to something, you know. And this is a support group for those people. The disease of addiction can affect family members and friends of addicts physically, emotionally, and spiritually. In our group meetings, we share experience, strength, and hope to help each other and ourselves. Nar-Anon meetings can provide support and hope to those affected by a relative or friend's addiction. I personally have my own story to tell. I will not tell it at this time, but I want to bring awareness to this group because there's such a need for it. When I was in this situation, I was so powerless. I didn't know where to turn, who to talk to, because most people that you talk to don't, if they have not been through it, they don't have any idea what you're talking about, and they just tell you all kinds of things to do, which aren't always helpful. They're, well-meaning, but they aren't always helpful. And Nar-Anon is based on a set of spiritual principles and has no affiliation with any particular religion. There are no dues or fees, and the only requirement for membership is a problem of addiction in a relative or friend. I think I just said that. Did I say that? Cooperative efforts could include community and professional awareness meetings or presentations, health fair, or conference outreach tables or workshops. The Nar-Anon program has brought renewed hope and confidence to thousands of people whose lives have been adversely impacted by another person's addiction. And I just want to bring this awareness. I'm starting a group in Holly, and I have put out flyers and information, but I find a lot of people don't have any idea what Nar-Anon is. So I have brought with me a lot of pamphlets, a lot of information in case anybody is interested. It's a fabulous program, and like I said, I have my own story to tell. If anybody's interested, I have my phone number and email if anybody's interested.
Well, thank you for bringing that to us.
Thank you.
We're extremely supportive of all we can do to help people with addictions. We can't do enough in many ways. Have you visited Carbon Monroe Pike Drug and Alcohol, our office?
I have not.
Okay, so their office now has been relocated. It's down, I don't know the address. You know what Primetime Meats is?
No, we're new here. So,
When we're done, after the meeting, we'll tell you where it is. You should go there and speak with Shannon Wisniewski and
Okay.
just share this information with her.
Okay.
And she can help you, spread the word out there. They are our single county authority that deals with drug and alcohol
Okay.
issues in the county where people can go for treatment.
Okay.
And having any type of program like this. We have this, we probably could have some of your information. We probably can share this up in the jail. Because in that case, there are family members coming into the jail to visit their loved ones who unfortunately got incarcerated that are looking
Yes.
for this type of help also.
Yes.
So we will spread out the word however we can for you.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
I also wanted to commend you on stepping up as a volunteer from your own trauma, right? Because that's
Thank
usually how people get activated.
Yes.
When I first, many moons ago, the first community program I did in this area was on opioids. And at the end of that program, I said, the next program I will do is for the friends and family because I recognize that they were just as much in crisis as the people who are addicted, specifically older people who are now raising the children of the addicts, unfortunately.
Absolutely.
So again, my hat's off to you,
Thank
all
you.
of us. We appreciate what you're doing and
Thank
wish you
you.
the best of luck.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Then we go to press and public comment. You're up.
Sit, stand.
Sit.
Okay. Side comment. I have PTSD.
Mhm.
Because I have PTSD, my wife ended up with generalized anxiety disorder.
Mhm.
I assure you, I'm more sad for my wife with the anxiety disorder because of my PTSD.
Mhm.
So what you're doing is very honorable. So
Thank you. Yes. Thank you.
I admitted this the other night with respect to the job fair. I'm glad I came here today. I heard the last comment with respect to the disabled, backward, reverse, right. So knowing that and everybody being aware of that, what I'm saying here kind of, it's going to take a flip at the end, okay? So it starts off at a federal, county, state level, but then at this county level, I think it takes a more positive twist. The Federal Employment and Training Administration, ETA, issued a notice canceling the Department of Labor, DOL, ETA training and employment notice 10/21/24, issued on January 22nd, to implement President Trump's executive order. Executive orders are EOs. Everybody hears EOs on TV. The EO was issued on January 20th, called for the termination of all diversity, equity, inclusion, and accessibility, DEIA, mandates, policies, programs, preferences, and activities in the federal government. Federal agencies were directed to terminate programs, positions, grants, and contracts related to DEI. The 10/21/24 was issued to formally implement the executive order. Now this is where it kind of flows or ebbs into work fairs and county municipal activities. The NAWB, which is the National Association of Workforce Boards, across the country, across the nation, across counties, municipalities, members expressed concern and confusion about how their efforts, I guess similar to Cindy's, will be able to reach all potential workers. And that's the opposite thing, all potential workers, including those hardest to serve, could be affected by the order. Brad Turner Little, the president and CEO of the National Association of Workforce Boards, said, and I'm quoting now, all members, workforce boards from across the nation and its territories look forward to working with the Department of Labor on our shared goals of strengthening the economy by increasing labor force participation and filling, and this is something I didn't know, the 7.6 million vacant jobs in America, this country. They're not all in Pike County, so don't worry about that. The concern at a county level, such as Pike, is how actions at the federal level interact at the county workforce level. And then I wrote a couple other sentences of blah, 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 until I heard what you said, which is good. Because at first I was going one way in this discussion. And now, hearing you, I know we're in safe hands.
Thank you.
And I know we were in safe hands 7 years ago when the priest, the father from 739, started this with some other people. I can't remember his name. Okay. So that's that part. From Friday of past week until today, I did some, how would you put it, investigative, backroom, executive level, whatever you want to call it, assessment of 5 of our county departments or offices. On Friday, I met with new state legislator appointed. I think Brian was appointed by the state, not the county. You guys don't appoint.
He was appointed by the governor's
The
office.
governor, yeah, the state.
legislature.
Right.
Brian Beanie is our new sheriff.
Yeah, Brian Beanie is
Filled
our
the
new.
vacancy.
Yeah. I spoke with him for a good half hour, 45 minutes on Friday. An amazing man, easy to talk to. 2 words that impressed me the most. And this is paraphrasing, so please don't say this is what Sheriff Benny said. This is what Kevin Holding and Doty said. He believes in the Constitution. He fully supports the Constitution. And the men and women who serve in his office are here for one purpose: to protect and serve the county. Which is pretty impressive for a guy who's just going into the job to say to somebody like myself. Right after that meeting with Sheriff Benny, on the way home, I drove down Route 6, because I live right off of Route 6, and I entered the Veterans Affairs office, and I picked up some brochures from Director Schrader, Josiah, right? And he came out and he talked to me, a woman signed me in, getting back to brochures and sharing of information. the guy and his staff are amazing. You know, especially with respect to like PTSD, survivor issues, benefits, where to go, how to help you define what's going on in your own head. And then right next door to that on Route 6 is the Career Center, which I walked in and I picked up some of your flyers. And again, an amazing staff, The county is sneaky, because back there's a passageway where Josiah can walk back and forth. You don't tell the public that.
We share a utility closet in the bathroom.
Okay.
Important things.
Yeah, important thing, right. We used to do it in the federal government too. On Monday, I was trying to prepare for something that's going on in Delaware Valley School Board and District tomorrow night with respect to something addressing DEI, LGBTQ, and my wife and myself have a lot of friends for the past, God knows how many years, 20 plus, almost 30 now, that are part of the LGBTQ community. And they reached out to me because I tend to be, how you put it, overly vocal, and I care too much. Sometimes way too much, until I learn from people who know more than I do, like yourself, Cindy, what you said earlier. I met with Children and Youth Services to try to get some information on how we in the county address our children. And to the female, I didn't meet any male staff members upstairs. I don't know, they're all women. I know, fantastic.
There are some males that work upstairs as well.
I probably chased them away. But an amazing group of people who kind of guided me and told me that every child is treated equally, respective of, you know, their views and orientations. They, Children and Youth Services, said, why don't you reach out to Director Dawn Allison of CASA. CASA is the Court-Appointed Special Advocate. And she couldn't meet with me, yet she told me in an email to give her a quick call, which I did yesterday, right before meeting with May Brothers to do a landscape design in front of our house. See how I'm tying all this in? Director Allison spent about 10-15 minutes with my wife and myself on the phone, tying back to yourself. In your group, Nana. She told me that there's about 30 volunteers that are supporting our children in this county. Retired attorneys, retired school teachers, and others. 30 for a county like Pike County, who spend up to 2 years at times with the case. So you got a volunteer who's dedicated 2 years of their life supporting a child, regardless of their orientation and their background and the trauma that they're going through as a child. This wraps back now full circle to how the county is doing within these 5 departments. 90% of what's going on in CASA, the Court-Appointed Special Advocacy Group, 90% positive outcome. So based on what I typed up the other day, after listening to you, Cindy, and what I wrote down here, I think I deserve or require or should keep my mouth shut until I get the full picture on everything. I think a lot of our citizenry and residents and taxpayers should do the same thing in light of either what's going to go on tomorrow night at Delaware Valley School Board or what goes on in here. You know, it's like the old saying in Catholic school, you better do your freaking homework, or otherwise the nun is going to wrap you on the knuckles. So thank you to the 5 departments, and thank you for clearing up this. So the last 2 paragraphs, in essence, are bogus. because it's how I thought, as opposed to the reality of it. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Right. Motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Thank you, everyone.